Boogie 2988. Oh, where to begin? This guy used to be known as the Mr. Rogers of YouTube. Now he's known as a manipulative scumbag who scammed $10,000 out of people who still believed in him, and as somebody who will later see, faked his cancer diagnosis, which is one of the worst things you can do on the internet. One of the worst. Outside of being a PDF file, this is really bad. Like, despite how much people might say, well, you know, he was trying to do this or trying to do XYZ. I can't even think of an excuse for why you would do something like this. I don't think he can either. There's no excuse for faking cancer and scamming your fans just to get money. When your internet reputation has already been soured enough, you really think scamming people and then admitting that your scam was built on a complete lie is going to help? No. There's no excuse for what Boogie did. Anyway, Boogie 2988 is a shameful human being who I think deserves the hate. And he causes it. Unless you've been living under a rock and have been paying attention to our favorite person ever, Boogie 2988, you won't have seen Destiny's Exposed stream on Boogie showing how he blatantly, brazenly admitted to lying about his cancer diagnosis. Now, I can hear people saying, well, it doesn't matter since we already knew, so why do we need to hear him say that he, was lying on purpose? The idea behind it and why it's such a big deal is because knowing somebody lied about something is way different than them admitting they lied about something. Okay? Because there's always that shred of doubt that says, well, didn't they lie about it? Are we wrong? Are we, going after this guy for no reason? But when they admit to doing the wrong thing and they say, yeah, I did it, that doubt kind of goes away immediately. Like, yeah, you did it. There's no doubt about it. We were right. You were wrong. El Bozo. Get ratioed, etc. But the main problem with Boogie is that this story goes so deep and he tries to manipulate so hard that even in his admission, somehow he tries to make himself look like the good guy. So I'm going to be reacting to this exposed stream and I'm going to be giving my take on it. And I'm going to expose to everyone, once and for all, Boogie causes the hate and deserves every part of it.
Good. Say what you got to say to me, and then I got maybe a few things I would like to say to you.
This may seem a little nitpicky, but what does he mean, I've got some things to say to you? You were exposed for lying about your cancer. Even though you didn't admit it, you still lied, and people still believe you lied. There's nothing you can say to dig yourself out of the situation. So when you say, I have some things to say to you, unless you're groveling at the feet of Destiny, ultimate DGG Lord, there's nothing anybody wants to hear from you, bro.
Sure. What is the theme for this episode? What are we talking about, Keemstar?
Well, Boogie has finally admitted that he has no confirmation that he has cancer.
Translation. All his false bravado about having proof that he had cancer, he was just withholding it because he didn't want to show anything, was a lie.
Okay. The theme of this episode is, will Boogie get fired from the show? We decided he has to get fired. I mean, this is like pretty up. We're trying to think of ways that he can earn his will back and punishments.
In my opinion, the punishments should be never being allowed back on YouTube as a prominent creator. He should lose all of his subscribers and stop being in the spotlight just because he's a bad person, okay? Debating punishments for somebody who's done something like this, it seems really stupid to me. And I don't see why Boogie should receive any special treatment or be given any grace considering what he's done.
We decided he has to get fired. I mean, this is like pretty up. We're trying to think of ways that he can earn his will back and punishments. He giving the play button to me. It's already being mailed to my house. We're going to put out for auction. That money will go to charity.
Donating to charity is fine, but I think you should be reimbursing his fans. People often forget that in the beginning with his video, I Need Help, He stole $1,400 from those people that donated to him after his announcement of the cancer diagnosis. I just think that he should reimburse them first.
He bought a Medicare hat. Medicare actually has cancer.
No, I'm getting the puzzle. I'm getting the puzzle.
He's
Smart.
not a. Well, get the hat because we need to see you with that hat for sure.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if we'll actually see Boogie wearing Medicare merch, or if this is just another bravado, nice claim to make on YouTube, but one that he'll never actually back up.
What else did we talk about? Mountain Dew. You're never allowed. He's never allowed to drink Mountain Dew again because that is so unhealthy. And one of the main risks of this disease is that he could have a stroke or heart attack. And he kept saying that and using that for manipulation. But here you are not doing anything about your weight.
Welcome to Boogie 2988's entire internet career, Keemstar. He's been not doing anything about his weight ever since he started talking about the weight loss journey. All right? When he started, gaining weight after a supposed gastric bypass surgery, and continued to say, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to continue trying. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's the same thing with Wings of Redemption, right? If these guys cared about their weight, they would do something about it. They obviously don't care and they're happy with the status quo.
You're drinking Mountain Dew. So that was another thing.
Well, again, I only drink diet and it's doctor approved. It's zero.
Now, what we see here is a common manipulator tactic to downplay one's mistakes in order to obfuscate from their personal responsibility. So instead of Mountain Dew, it's Diet Mountain Dew. That's doctor recommended, and that's all I drank. All right? So instead of, it being that you drank soda with a lot of sugars, and one of the problems with your disease is that you're, at risk of a stroke or heart attack, it's, well, it was only Diet Mountain Dew, so it can't be entirely that bad. It's a manipulator tactic that I think Destiny picks up on later, but he does call it out after this exchange.
Mountain Dew. So that was another thing.
Well, again, I only drink diet and it's doctor approved. It's 0 calories, but it does have things that could lead like carcinogens and stuff in it. So that's why we've cut it out.
And he did donate.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
$1,000
Just to be
St.
clear. Wait.
Jude.
Just to be clear. That was a lie. Whatever just said. No doctor is telling you don't drink Mountain Dew diet because it has carcinogens in it. Are you talking about like aspartame or whatever?
I didn't say that. My doctor has approved diet soda. He says it's fine. But because I've read research that says aspartame and all this other stuff, I don't want to complicate it further. I don't even need to be taking caffeine in, which is the whole reason I drank diet soda was to have caffeine through the day.
Is it just me, or does it seem odd that his only option to get caffeine throughout the day is diet soda? I mean, I guess if you don't like the taste of coffee and you feel that soda is causing the problem, which I guess he said the doctor said it is, but why not just get a 5-hour energy? Cut out the soda altogether. I mean, the difference between regular soda and diet soda can't simply just be that, one has completely taken out all the harmful elements. I mean, it's still soda. He even mentions the aspartame, so I think diet soda can't be the only option, But maybe I'm wrong on this. People will definitely correct me in the comments.
Through the day. Why the I need caffeine? What am I doing in the day?
Well, I guess he doesn't need caffeine now, does he? All he does is sit in front of the TV, go sit in front of his computer, and yeah, I mean, I guess we saw in the Mike Klum documentary that he doesn't do much during the day, so why does he need caffeine?
He says it's fine. But because I've read research that says aspartame and all this other stuff, I don't want to complicate it further. I don't even need to be taking caffeine in, which is the whole reason I drank diet soda was to have caffeine through the day. Why the I need caffeine? What am I doing in the day?
Okay.
I don't need that shit in my body.
Good on you for realizing that. Just seems odd that a doctor wouldn't recognize that with your various health conditions, you probably should be staying away from soda. But a good idea nonetheless.
It's a very stupid thing to put in it.
Destiny, did you think that when you came in and confronted Boogie about this, that it would turn out this way?
I have no idea. It was just surprising to me that like it was pretty easy to see what was happening, and I feel like Boogie is like one of the most dedicated hater bases on the internet. So I didn't know how anybody hadn't called him out for it, and I
agree with Destiny when he says that Boogie has one of the most dedicated hater bases on the internet. Hell, they even wrote a 4,000 word document about every bad thing he's ever done. Okay? These guys are committed. But how they couldn't have seen it? I can think of one of two possibilities. One, they don't care. They probably seen it, but they don't care and they want him to get exposed by somebody else. Or something I think is more in line with Boogie's behavior, which is very simple. Because he lies so much and changes the story about a particular thing whenever he talks about it, it's very hard to pin him down on a particular lie. Because you can see that he's lying, but you just don't know about what and how. It's like if I released 3 videos about my new car, and in the first video, I talked about how the car was red when I bought it, the seats were leather, and there was a big Giants logo in the center of the steering wheel. And in the second video, I talked about how, well, the seats weren't leather, they were more like a faux leather. And the Giants and logo wasn't on the steering wheel. I had to buy that separately. And the car wasn't red, it was more like a maroon. And in the third video, I say, well, the Giants insignia was never really an option, and the guy gave it to me just because I didn't buy it. The car isn't maroon, it's more of an orange, and the seats aren't really faux leather, it's like a vegan svelte material. You see how I lied 3 times about the same details? You can't prove what I'm lying about because the story's always changing. You can see that I'm lying about something, you just don't know what. The story's always changing, therefore you can't pin him down, and therefore this dedicated hater base has no legs to stand on. I bet they were probably waiting for somebody bigger to expose him, like CoffeeZilla or Destiny, and they got their wish with this crypto scam and the cancer stuff. Like, he was exposed immediately. It took like a couple Google searches and this guy was splattered all over, all right? Now, I could see happening is they just refused to tell anybody about it, because why not let him explode all over the internet and have it blow up in his face publicly rather than just having a subreddit, screaming at him over it. And I could see them just not seeing it just because, well, he lies so much. It's very hard to keep track of what he says. And not that many people are interested in him. He did have one of the most dedicated hater bases on the internet. But as he's pittered out, and I won't say gotten better, but, gotten less relevant, I could see them just not caring. But it's whatever. I mean, those are the only 2 possibilities I can think of for them not exposing him. But if you can think of others, let me know.
Moody gets started on me. I did want to say, Destiny, I know that this affected you personally, and for that I wanted to apologize.
Here's another common manipulator tactic. When faced with an argument that they can't counter, and when given, a thorough beating over the head with the bad things they've done, the idea is to cut themselves out to the other person so that they seem more like a victim in the situation and they can kind of skirt the blame for the other stuff. I know he didn't go into that detail, but that's what he's leading into. He'll say, Destiny, I'm really sorry I did such and such. If it hadn't been for the haters, I would have done better. And if it hadn't been for all this weight or all this extra shit, I would have done better. And it hadn't been for my doctor or all this extra shit. The idea is to stick up or suck up to Destiny in order to get those approval points. Manipulators will often do this when cornered, and will often try to grasp at straws or gain sympathy from the other person. It's a very common tactic if you've seen manipulators, which in my personal life, I definitely have. Boogie is a prime example, and I think is a interesting case on the internet. I feel that the more often we see Boogie have these types of conversations, arguments, that the more often his manipulator persona comes out.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I just donated $1,000 to St. Jude's.
Oh, okay.
Which hurts pretty tremendously.
So sorry, Boogie, but why is that anybody's problem except yours? It's pretty much your fault that you're in the financial situation you're in. It's you being the type of person that you are, that you even had to donate to that charity in the first place. Well, I mean, it's not like you had to, but there was a social expectation that you'd at least try to make up for what you did. And first of all, why do we care that it takes a big hit? See, this is something manipulators do. They try to make their good deed come at the cost of everyone else, even though in retrospect, it's not that big a deal, and it's only them attempting to cover for what terrible thing they've done. In reality, nobody really cares about the type of hit he could have taken or might have taken from this type of thing. I mean, he's the one who lied about cancer. He's the one who tries to manipulate people into feeling sorry for him, so I really don't care. If he took a hit from this, well, too bad. Next time, don't lie about cancer.
A cancer charity or something. Boogie wants it to go to St. Jude's. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and I think, again, St. Jude's has been held accountable the most. I've raised money for St. Jude's in the past. I think it's a great charity. I've given money to St. Jude's.
That's great that you've given money to St. Jude's. I still didn't ask. You still lied about cancer. That doesn't cover up for what you've done. And even if you have given money to St. Jude's in the past, which I doubt, doesn't really factor into the current situation. Again, a common manipulator tactic is to try to make their good deed seem like a pattern of behavior and not them trying to cover up for their mistake.
Destiny, check me on this because I could be wrong. But I've been told that they give almost 100% of the money that you give goes directly to treating children. They're not one of these people that like spends a lot of it on awareness or promotion or any of that.
Hold on, wait, just a quick thing. If you want to do this with other people, that's fine. I have no interest in the manipulator tactics. That whole like, check this, you can check this and verify this, and I'm being so truthful. I'm sure. No, you don't need to ask me. Hold on, you don't need to ask me to verify the authenticity of St. Jude's. I'm sure that information is publicly available.
Destiny is 100% correct. Boogie goes on later in the clip to say, no, I was just checking to make sure I don't lie accidentally. I know accidentally. I'm still going to show the clip. But I just want the audience to know he's 100% a manipulator, okay? I don't care what he sounds like. He's manipulating on purpose. This is what Boogie does constantly, all right? To say, just Destiny, you can fact check me on this. It's a manipulator tactic to kind of, defer to the person that's accusing you of doing the wrong thing so that you look like, you look like the beta male that's like, oh my God, I'm in awe of your greatness type thing. Somebody could obviously explain it better than I could, but if you've seen the clip, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean, nonsense questions like that in order to seek sympathy or assurance. That's absolutely not what
I'm saying. I don't want to accidentally lie anymore.
You see that? You see how he managed to turn one manipulation into another that quickly? That's doing it on purpose. I know people say, well, Boogie might not be doing manipulation on purpose. He might be just, doing it accidentally. It's just the way his personality is. That's purposeful. For you to take one manipulation that you got called out for and turn it into something else is another level. The fact that he knew exactly what he was doing and instantly changed it around the moment he got caught for it shows how purposeful it is. If you didn't understand through the yapping that I just did, what Boogie just said was, I just wanted to check with you because I didn't want to be called out for lying anymore, accidentally lying anymore. That's not true. He didn't accidentally lie. He lied on purpose without confirmation or information to get sympathy and money online, okay? He didn't accidentally lie. But you see how he slipped that in there? He slipped it right at the end, almost like to drop a mine at the end of the conversation. But good thing Destiny is exposed to many manipulators, and he's not falling for it. And neither am I.
100% of the money given. I could be wrong.
Again, it's a minor thing, but that appeal to authority when it comes to manipulators always pisses me off. That I could be wrong. Bro, you can Google literally everything. If you really wanted to make sure you weren't wrong, Google it. Oh my God, trying to appeal to Destiny's ego to get some sympathy points? That's so low, Boogie. And I know people might attack me in the comments, but that's obviously what he's doing. He even gets called out for it later.
For terms of what is reality. So this is something else too. This is an important question, and because I think there should be a consequence to this. Did you tweet from your brother's account, or does your brother deserve to have his reputation smeared? Because he staked his reputation on your diagnosis that you're telling us now that you never got.
Like my brother said, he has seen medical records that says they are treating me for this. And
notice how he doesn't say, my brother has seen medical records saying I have this, but they are treating me for this. It's a small distinction, but it does allow Boogie a little wiggle room when it comes to lying, because all he has to say is, well, they're treating me for something to make sure I don't get it in the future. You know, that's not how polycythemia vera works. And that will just be his talking point for the rest of the conversation. It's a small little thing that I don't think they notice, but it is important to show how much of a master manipulator he is on purpose.
Expensive? Well, what is the cancer treatment that you're paying for? What's the unique expensive cancer treatment?
We are doing monthly blood tests, which is
blood
expensive.
tests is I do monthly blood tests for STD testing. What are you talking about? Your blood tests are for anything. What do you mean?
For cancer check.
I don't know. They're $70 a pop.
I do. I mean, that's a pretty common thing.
Okay, so I'm just to be clear, that was another lie. Okay.
Important question for the Boogie defenders who might find their way to this video. If Boogie's cancer treatments are so intensive, so important to this very serious condition, why does he not know what they are? If I was suffering a quote-unquote life-threatening condition that changes severity every time I talk about it, I would at least want to know how they're treating me and what I'm spending $70 every time I go there for. You know, just as like a PSA. Or, you know, question for anybody who feels like defending a master manipulator.
For people, just for people that's listening, because this is such common.
I do monthly blood tests specifically
you're lying.
for this.
You're such a you're a horrible human being. Okay, you're a horrible person.
Another common manipulator tactic on display from our favorite master manipulator, Boogie 2988. The lie was never that he was getting the blood tests in the first place. The lie was what they were for, which he claimed they were for polycythemia vera or whatever cancer he said he had. Okay? The lie wasn't that you were getting them. The lie was what you were getting them for. Obviously he knows this, and obviously he's trying to obfuscate. And I guarantee that next he's going to shift to, now, everything I say is a lie. Everything I say is a lie, and it's all one big lie. You know, to try to give himself some sympathy points or to try to blow Destiny's point out of proportion.
In Trump office, okay? I'm sorry that I didn't make the choice of
Boogie,
no, I'm sorry.
It would take
so mad.
Yeah.
Hope you guys liked the video. This has been Axel. See ya. One of the early things I want to touch on is a game I've played for a little while, but not that many people know about. It's called Star Trek Online. It's one of my favorite games. I've been playing it for a little while, not that long. Those of you who play Star Trek Online religiously, who might find your way into on my YouTube channel, will definitely notice this. I might talk about Star Trek Online in particular, some of my favorite things about the game. Might even do a little story mission playthrough. But yeah, I really do like playing it. I don't know what gameplay's playing on the screen, but I assume